The man accused of killing a respected religious leader from local Somali community made his first appearance in court today. John Wooden Jr. has been arrested and charged in this case. Police say Imam Mohammed Hassan Adam was shot multiple times back in December. The body of the 46-year-old was found on Christmas Eve, days after he was reported missing. Columbus police believe there could be other suspects involved in this murder. A preliminary hearing is set for March 4th. Wooden is being held on $2 million cash bond.
Joining us tonight, everybody, I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Andrew Kinsey. Right now, a man is behind bars charged in the death of a Columbus mosque leader.
10 TV's Kevin Landers explains how luck played a role in the arrest.
He was a role model, not only to his family, to Somali community.
His children say their father, Imam Mohammed Hassan Adam, was known for his charitable work.
My dad was doing a lot of kind things to everyone.
His son and daughter say they have no idea why someone would want to take his life.
He didn't deserve that to happen.
Police have now charged John Wooden Jr. with his murder, a man police say knew his victim.
There was a business transaction between the two individuals. I don't want to get too much into that, but that's how his name came about.
But Wooden's name and face were a mystery to his children until now.
I've never seen that man before in my life. He was not part of the community. He was not part of my dad's personal life, so I don't know how he came into contact with them.
So how did police catch the suspect? It turns out they were lucky. While serving a search warrant at this house, not only did they find a gun, but then the suspect walked in.
Police say they were surprised the gun they say was used in the crime was still in the suspect's house.
I was somewhat surprised, but based on some of the other things that I'm looking into in regards to this case, I was not completely surprised that the firearm was in the home.
With the help of the ATF, police say bullets from the scene were matched with the gun found in the suspect's Franklinton home. Detectives say they don't believe Imam Adam was targeted because of his religion. Police found his body inside his van on Christmas Eve at the corner of Joyce and Windsor Avenue, about 8 miles from the suspect's home. As for the victim's family, they say they're grateful for a break in the case. Now they wait for justice.
I don't believe anyone deserves death, but he does deserve justice.
Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.
Detectives believe the suspect did not act alone and are now encouraging the public to call Crime Stoppers for any tips. Police telling 10 TV that Wooden was released from prison last year after doing time for robbery. He will appear before a judge tomorrow. Christmas Eve, a local faith leader was found dead in Columbus. His death considered a homicide. Today, members of the Somali and Muslim communities said goodbye to Dr. Mohammed Hassan Adam. Before this breaking news tonight, 10 TV's Richard Solomon explained the impact he had on an entire community.
Imam Mohammed Hassan Adam will forever be honored and celebrated of this community.
The amount of people in this room is only a fraction of the amount of lives he touched. It's his legacy. Dr. Mohammed Hassan Adam's legacy.
I think one of the most important things that it's hurting us is the void that he's going to be leaving in the community.
Dr. Adam was loved by so many, but the Dr. Marwan Muhammad, a friend.
Oh, definitely.
And he sees that love returned.
The effect that this individual had in the community. And he had this effect at multiple levels.
Dr. Muhammad met Dr. Adam in this same mosque 20 years ago. They helped open up a food pantry together. Dr. Adam was an imam, a Muslim faith leader. The two served the community throughout the years. But on Thursday, the mosque held a different purpose for Adam's funeral service. But it's how the faith leader's life was taken that shocked the Muslim and Somali communities.
There's a lot of whys, but at the end of the day, we have to surrender ourselves to the will of God.
Dr. Adam's life tragically ended on Christmas Eve. A missing persons report was filed last Thursday after Dr. Adam hadn't been seen since Wednesday. The report said he didn't show up to pick up his child from daycare. His body was found dead inside a van on Christmas Eve.
If we don't find a closure to the case of Dr. Mohammed Hassan, I don't believe, as an individual and as a community leader, no one is safe.
And justice will come later. But this moment, this is for Dr. Adam and the legacy he left behind.
People loved him from the bottom of their hearts. And today we have witnessed that.
In Columbus, Richard Solomon, 10 TV News.
Tomorrow, many are planning to meet at First Congressional Church in downtown Columbus to march down to City Hall. They'll be fighting for justice and a speedy arrest in this case.
Well, tonight we have confirmation that a Columbus mosque leader is now dead. Thanks so much for staying up with us for our late newscast. I'm Brittany Bailey. Columbus police found the man's body Friday after the local Somali community put out the word that he was missing. And new tonight, Olivia Eugenio spoke with an organization offering a reward for information.
About 250 Somali Americans were gathered here Friday night waiting for more information from police. On Sunday, police confirmed that the man in the van was 48-year-old Mohammed Hassan Adam. This was part of the crowd of people Friday night. They were out searching for their missing faith leader when they found his body on Windsor Avenue.
Coroner's office will make a positive cause of death determination, but we don't like to speculate.
Earlier Friday, members of the Somali American community held a press conference pleading for information. They said Adam had been missing since Wednesday. The missing persons report said he did not arrive to pick up his child from daycare.
And he been very, very valuable for the community. He used to provide guidance and the leadership for the Somali youth.
Mohammed Hassan Adam was an important part of the Somali American community and was an imam, which is a Muslim faith leader.
His leadership and his work is very difficult, in particular to the Somali Muslim community, because he's a pillar.
A $10,000 reward is out for information on the imam's death by the Council on American Islamic Relations.
We'd like to offer sort of our help and support. Right now, information is critical.
Mohammed Hassan Adams' death was the 198th homicide in the city of Columbus. Olivia Eugenio, 10 TV News.
Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther tweeted his deepest condolences to Mohammed Hassan Adams' family and friends. The mayor says his passing leaves a great void. He's asking Columbus police to investigate as quickly as possible and for anyone with information to call detectives or Central Ohio Crime Stoppers.
First at 6, the funeral service for a local religious and community leader found dead just last week wrapped up a short time ago. Family and friends gathering to remember Dr. Mohammed Hassan Adam. Good evening. I'm Andrew Kinsey. Yolanda has the evening off. Police calling his death a homicide. The mosque allowing media inside today, including our Richard Solomon, for rare access inside the service this afternoon and hopes it will lead to catching a killer. Richard is standing by live tonight with the mood and the impact from today's service. Richard.
Well, Andrew, good evening to you. Yeah, the mood is pretty somber, but they're still holding their heads high this evening. I was actually inside, and both the Somali and Muslim communities showed how loved Dr. Ahmad Hassan Adam was. And after it wrapped up inside the mosque behind me here, I was able to sit down with one of his close friends, and this is what he had to say.
I think one of the most important things that it's hurting us, me individually and the community as large, is the void that he's going to be leaving in the community and the good things that he have left behind him.
Dr. Marwan Muhammad says they will fight for justice tomorrow, but today is for Dr. Adam's legacy. Dr. Muhammad was very good friends with Dr. Adam, and this video on your screen doesn't do justice to just how many people were at his service. The mosque packed, people overflow the parking lot. Dr. Muhammad says the two helped establish a food pantry that fed thousands of people. In all his years, Dr. Muhammad says he's never seen a service this big.
If God loves an individual, he would spread his love among the people, And I indeed have seen that and witnessed that in the community today.
And like I said, tomorrow they will fight for justice. Actually happening tomorrow is a day of solidarity. They will meet at First Congregational Church in downtown Columbus, and they'll march to City Hall, fighting for arrests to be made in this case. For now, reporting live in Columbus, I'm 10 TV's Richard Solomon. Andrew?
A life gone too soon, Richard. Thanks so much. And if you have any insight into this case, you're urged to call Central Ohio Crime Stoppers. That number on your screen, 614-461-8477.
Renewing its call for answers in the killing of a local imam. With Central Ohio Crime Stoppers, the organization now offering a $10,000 reward. You may remember that police found Muhammad Hassan Adams' body in a van on Christmas Eve along Windsor Avenue. Today, the lead investigator says that he has a short video of someone driving the yellow GMC. The person is seen wearing a red bandana, white gloves, possibly latex. Adams' daughter also speaking out today.
We need answers quickly. Every day that passes is another day that my father's murderer remains alert.
If you have any information that may lead to the arrest of the suspect, please contact Central Ohio Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous. You can call 614-461-TIPS. That is 614-461-8477. Can also submit a tip by downloading their new P3 Tips mobile app.
And the funeral is today for a Somali faith leader found dead on Christmas Eve. Columbus police say Dr. Muhammad Hassan Adam was found in a vehicle on Windsor Avenue. His death is ruled a homicide. A cause of death has not been released. In a statement, Dr. Adam's family thanked community members for a tremendous outpouring of support. Here's part of that statement. For the past 2 decades, in the heart of Columbus, Ohio and beyond, he was not only a force of compassion, but a model of service who was driven to give back to those who needed it most. Imam Muhammad was a humble man, but his efforts to help others made him a hero to all who knew him. The funeral information is on your screen right there. It's set to begin at 3 this afternoon at the Islamic Center at 2334 Mock Road in Columbus. The family asked guests to carpool and park near the mosque so the parking lot can be used for services.
New at noon, the man police say is responsible for killing a local mosque leader is being held on $2 million bond. John Wooden Jr. is charged with shooting Dr. Muhammad Hassan Adam multiple times and leaving his body inside his van back in December. Police say it happened after some sort of business transaction. Investigators say they are looking for at least one more suspect.
Well, happening today, the man accused of murdering a Central Ohio faith leader will answer to those charges. The imam's family says they're hoping to learn more about a motive.
He was not part of the community. He was not part of my dad's personal life, so I don't know how he came into contact with them.
Now, 10 TV's Tino Ramos is following today's court hearing. And Tino, what do investigators know at this point?
Yeah, you know, they're revealing some information, other information they're kind of holding tight to their belt right now. But what we can tell you is, in terms of what's going on today, is the 46-year-old suspect, the man who was arrested, will appear right behind me here in court for the first time, facing that judge and facing a murder charge. Now, let me show you. This is the man who was arrested earlier this month. He is John Wooden Jr. Matter of fact, detectives say that he shot Dr. Muhammad Hassan Adam multiple times and left his body inside a van at the corner of Joyce and Windsor Avenue. This was back in December. Police say it happened after a business transaction, but through the help of Columbus police and other agencies, police were able to find a key piece of evidence that linked Wooden to the imam's death.
We conducted a search warrant at his residence, recovered a firearm, which subsequently was ballistically matched to the casings from that firearm. The test casings were subsequently matched to the homicide scene, some casings left at the scene.
Now, here's another thing that investigators did reveal to us. They do not believe that Wooden acted on his own, so this investigation continues on. In the meantime, again, Wooden appearing before a judge facing that murder charge later on this morning. Of course, 10 TV will follow the story. We'll bring you more coming up next half hour. In downtown Columbus, Tino Ramos, 10 TV News.